Okay, so some of you guys are asking me about this new Racerstar 2207 motor that I have right here, and you noticed that they look kind of similar to some other motors out there, and yeah, I agree. They're very similar looking to the original XING from iFlight and the XING-E. I did a video already comparing the original XING to the XING-E, and I'll put a link to that video down in the description. The other motor that also people thought it looked similar to was the FLYWOO 2207 motor here. And let's just look at the way I'll take the motor bells off, but the windings essentially all kind of look similar. But I can just tell you what the differences are from a spec perspective, and then we'll take the motor apart and I'll show you exactly what they look like inside. The XING, the Racerstar SIC 2207, and the FLYWOO 2207 all have titanium shafts and 7075 aluminum in the bell, and they have N52H magnets. They're all about $20, and then the XING-E motor here is about $14. It's cheaper because it has a steel shaft and not a titanium shaft, and the bell is made of a softer, I think it's 6065 aluminum. So this is the budget version of these motors. If we go ahead and take a look at the motor itself here, the Racerstar, you can see curved magnets and set screw on the bottom. It's going to look pretty similar to the original iFlight XING motor, as you can see here. Pretty similar. Obviously the bell is a different shape. It's got that square shape, not a round shape, so that may affect the way certain props go on. If you have one of those props with a high pitch, it may bump into the bottom, unless you may need to use some sort of a spacer here to get the prop on. But all of these motors have the same sort of look, except for the XING-E. I think the XING-E is a little bit thinner magnets, not quite curved. The FLYWOO, that looks pretty similar to the Racerstar. Okay, we'll go ahead and take the screw off here so we can get the bell off. Look at the inside. This is the standard M3 screw, and then just look at the motor again. So we have that little protection here for the motor wire so it doesn't rub against the bell. I believe they all have the same bearings, the 9mm bearings. Let's go ahead and pull the bell off. And yeah, we can see we have a washer in here we need to pull off here. And this is what the motor looks like on the inside. You can see that it has that same little O-ring right here that does a little bit of dampening. I'm not sure if that protects the bell or not and crashes, but all of these motors I think have that feature. And I think the stators are all going to look the same as well. So here's the closer look at the stator itself and the bearings. And the motor bell is dynamically balanced like all the other motors, but you can see the bell itself here. It's like a etched aluminum. It does come in 3 different kV versions, by the way. 2388 is probably more like 2400 kV. The kV doesn't really necessarily mean anything. There's a hollow shaft there, and you have some grooves there for holding the prop on. And here's a look at the FLYWOO motor, 2207 1750 kV. And it's got that same green O-ring there that the other motors have. Magnets look pretty similar. You can see the stator looks pretty similar. Let's just bring the other. So this is the FLYWOO here with the black motor wires, and this is the Racerstar with the gray motor wires, and you can compare the windings of the stators. Yeah, so looks pretty similar to me. What do you guys think? I'm not 100% sure if they are all coming out of the same factory or not, but they look really similar. The windings on the FLYWOO do look a little bit nicer, at least on this particular one. I'm not exactly sure if the neatness of the windings matters all that much. And here's a look at the inside of the bells of both of the motors. You can take a close look at the magnets. Pretty similar looking. And here's a look at the inside of the XING motor. This is the original XING. This is a 2208, so a little bit different size. It's got the same feature there, that rubber O-ring. You can see the inside, and the stator looks pretty similar, although this is a different size stator. And here's a look at the stator. The XING motor's on the right, and Racerstar on the left. And again, can't quite tell too much just from the windings or the laminations on the stator. They look pretty close. Anyway, so that's a closer look at the insides of the motors. I know a lot of you guys are curious about that, and I think we can confirm that these are very, very similar motors. Are probably going to perform very similarly as well. I will put links to the videos on the XING-E and the XING and the FLYWOO motors down in the description. You guys can check that out, and links to all these motors down below. Obviously, they're pretty similar in price for the high end with the titanium shafts and 70-75 aluminum bells. So I think they're all around $20, $21, something like that. So I think it kind of boils down to which one looks better for you. And I'm pretty sure all the weights are pretty much the same. But yeah, check the links in terms of the weights. Obviously, with the motor wires being different lengths, it's going to affect the weight on the scale. So it's not going to be all that meaningful. But if you're looking for a budget version of these motors, the XING-E definitely is a good choice. It's on the Nazgul 5 bind and fly. It's a good motor. I've done a video on that as well, and it's also about $6 cheaper per motor, so that makes a big difference for a build. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you found the video helpful. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.